Let me also welcome in Vivek Mavani, who's joining us in the studio today. Vivek, good to have you with us. Good morning. Just to take off from what Nikunj was saying earlier about the overall context right now, we have seen a little bit of cautiousness enter the market. We're seeing crude at these high levels just around the corner from elections and earnings as well. What would be, the mindset with which you'd approach things right now?
Well, as far as the global interest rate scenario is concerned, it certainly seems to be on a, if not a downward trajectory, but at least continue to stay at lower levels. I mean, nobody's expecting any rate hikes anytime soon. Domestically, suddenly in the last 6 months, I mean, from a neutral interest rate scenario, we are clearly on a downward interest rate scenario with two cuts in the last about 3 months. And probably one or two more likely in the rest of the year, and we still have almost 9 months to go. In terms of global liquidity, well, even if the global liquidity after the huge gush that we have had from late February, March was record inflows of almost 33,000 crores, 32,000 something crores in terms of net buying on equities, and even the last few days in April, the net buying continues, which runs into a few hundred crores on a daily basis. Even if that were to slow down, domestic liquidity in terms of mutual fund flows, individual investors, HNIs, all, I mean, who have been on the sidelines the last maybe about 6 to 12 months coming back to the market. So I don't see a serious issue with market sustaining at higher levels. I mean, we may not hit all-time highs on a weekly basis, but I don't see market tanking off from these levels either. So a sharp correction also doesn't seem, seems a very distant possibility. Very soon maybe from next week onwards, we'll get into the fourth quarter results season, and my sense is large number of companies will positively surprise on the growth side.
Okay, fair point. Hold on to that thought, Vivek. Lots more to talk about, but let's quickly take it across to Avan, find out what are the key top 5 stocks to look out for.
Well, there's going to be a key focus then first up on the big ET Now news break that we got for you, and that is Yes Bank. We were talking about how it's a private sector bank, sizable QIP that they're looking at. So they will be meeting on the 26th of April to consider a fundraise via the QIP route. So this stock will certainly be a buzz. Meantime, Sun Pharma are yet again in the limelight. They're going to transfer their India distribution business to SPDL. So watch out for the stock. Meantime, we've been looking very closely at telecom, and Airtel is going to be in focus as they've got the SEBI nod. This is for the massive rights issue, 25,000 crore rupees. Meantime, yesterday, remember, there was a block deal in DLF. GIC has offloaded 6.8 crore shares of DLF at a price point of about 1,298. That stock was under acute pressure. We'll have to see how it shapes up in trade today. And finally, watch out for Voltas. That stock is going to be in focus as they've inked a pact with Shimaseki. This is a Japanese textile manufacturer in order to expand this side of their business. So watch out for the stock in trade today.
Okay, Avan, we'll leave it at that. In fact, talk about one of those stocks that Avan was highlighting. And Yes Bank surely is going to be in focus. Of course, we were the first ones to report this on April 4th itself, that they are looking at a large fundraising activity. The board is now going to be meeting on April 26th to mull some such activity. The lender could perhaps take either the debt or the equity route to raise capital. But Vivek, positive signs when it comes to Yes Bank, but at 260 levels, is it still a yes for Yes Bank?
Well, there are 2-3 things happening at Yes Bank. What happened in ICICI and Axis Bank last year, that okay, there have been problems on governance, certain problems with the senior management, perception, reputational issues, although nothing concrete coming out in terms of wrongdoing. Anybody can actually pinpoint any wrongdoing. In Yes Bank, again, there's been a new CEO now. What we hear is the entire senior management and the maybe higher middle management cadre being revamped. So one would expect a lot more positive news coming from Yes Bank in the months ahead. To sustain their 20+% growth quarter after quarter, they certainly need capital at some point of time, and probably they think that this is an optimum time to do it. Yes, it would be dilutive because they can possibly do a fundraise at a much higher levels after having delivered superior performance and changes in the management delivering the results. But it's their call in terms of whether to do it now at about 250, 260 levels or wait and do it at 350, 400 levels sometime in future. For me, I mean, I have got better bets in private sector banks itself that I'm more comfortable buying or holding. So, namely, say the Kotak Bank of the world, or even the PSU banks like SBI or Bank of Baroda. So, I would give Yes Bank a miss in terms of trying to trade or invest at these levels.